Okay, all right. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Um, Thank you for joining us. I see we are only 31 people here. Can we share the link? Can we share the link before we start our training? It's a Wednesday morning. It's a Wednesday morning. Yes, so we do have a training. We do have a training. Can we share the link? Can we invite our members so that they are part of this training that we are about to get started in? Yes. Can we share the link? Can we invite our team members to join us? Yes. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Good evening, good afternoon. Yes, looking at the time zone that you are joining us. It's morning in Johannesburg. It's morning in Johannesburg. So allow me to say good morning to you. So we are having a training this morning. Yes, we are having a training this morning. Allow me to welcome all of you joining us from different parts of the world. Yes, joining us from different parts of the world. This is the Coach Mo. Yes, taking you through the training today. Let me see who is joining us. Who is joining us this morning? Okay, all right. We do have Anna joining us this morning. We do have Brenda. Yes, Brenda is joining us this morning. Yes, Benfit is also joining us this morning. Yes, this is it Esnat? Yes, Esnat Isaac. Welcome to our training this morning, Billionaire Ambassador. Yes, thank you for joining us. Boniface, Brian Rollins, Casca, Dad, Emmanuel Lati, Eric Intirampeba. Yes, Eric Intirampeba. We do have Joe Bunefa. We do have Joseph. We do have Kasim Ngobi. Is it Ngobi? Yes, Kasim Ngobi. We do have Kate. We do have Jovia Kayaga. Okay. We do have Mavis. We do have MD Mazina. Okay. We do have Mdu. We do have Musa Jalo. We do have okay, Brenda Nantali. Okay. Yes, we do have Ajay. Yes, this is me, Ajay. We do have Patience Mahale. We do have Peter Side. Peter Side. Okay. Proscavia, welcome. We do have Ahmad Ronyo. Okay, is also in the house. We do have Salome. We do have Salome Nokomo. Is it Nokomo or Nokomo? Okay. And we do have Tapelo is in the house. Kiyosaki. Is this Robert? Is this Robert Kiyosaki? All right. We do have Lee. Yes, Lee is also in the house. Not forgetting my leader. Yes, with Coach Julius is also joining us in this training, though is silent, but is also joining us, including all the leaders that are joining us this morning. Yes, we are humbled to have you here. We are 35 participants in the training. Yes, I wish that we could invite others to join us. I wish that we could invite others to join us. Yes, let me check if you can hear me. Can you hear me, ladies and gentlemen? Can you hear me? Can you see me? Am I audible enough this morning? Am I audible enough? If you can hear me, give me a 3 in the chat. If you can hear me, give me a 3 in the chat. Give me a 3 in the chat. If you can hear me, give me a 3 in the chat. Am I talking to myself? Am I talking to myself? Am I talking to myself? Why am I not getting the threes? Am I talking to myself? Am I talking to myself? Why am I not getting enough threes? Yes. Someone is giving me 33. Okay. Yes. Okay, all right, all right. I really appreciate that. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, and those that are joining us. Yes, Billionaire Ambassador has given me, I think, a lot of trees there that I'm seeing there. Okay, all right. Yes, so we are having a training this morning. But before we get to our training, yes, I can see we are how many people are we here? Okay, we are 39. We are 39. So I wanted us to remember it's a training. So I want us to have a good attitude this morning. Yes, we are in a classroom now. We are in a training. So I want us to have a good attitude. Yes, it's very important to speak about attitude. I don't know how you are this morning. Yes, how you are this morning, how you have woken up this morning. I'm sure what happened yesterday, probably it can also contribute to how you are going to look today, how you are going to hold up today. Yes, but allow me to say, um, if there is a few things, yes, if there are a few things that we are in control of, one of them is our attitude. All right, yes. If there are a few things that we can have control over, one of them is our attitude. Okay, so every day when we wake up, when God has given us life, the only thing that we do have control over, all right, it is our attitude. There are other things that comes and go. Okay, there are other things that comes and go, but there is one thing that always remain with us, and that is our attitude. Why am I talking about attitude this morning? I'm simply saying that when you choose a good attitude, allow me to say a positive attitude, yes. If you choose to have a positive attitude each and every day, you're gonna be able to control the external circumstances around you. Let me repeat that. When you choose every day, because look, ladies and gentlemen, attitude is a matter of choice. How do you choose to embrace that particular day? Yes. How do you choose? What type of attitude have you chosen today that you're going to embrace it? Because there are other things that will come today and they will disappear. The only thing that you're going to remain with, it is your attitude. So I'm saying, when you choose a positive attitude, you're going to have control over the external circumstances around you. Why am I saying so? Because we cannot choose how others should behave today. We are going to interact with people today, and already some of us, we have done it. But I'm saying the people that we are going to interact with today, even in this Zoom, remember we are in a training, yes. The people that we are going to interact with today, we are not going to choose the attitude that they should embrace, no. But us, we're going to choose what type of attitude we want to embrace. So if there is anyone who is deciding to make sure that we don't have a good day, if we don't control that external circumstances, our day is going to be messed up. Someone is going to mess up our day. That's why this morning, before we start our training, I wanted us to talk about attitude. What attitude are you embracing this morning? Yes. What attitude are you embracing this morning? Because I am convinced, personally myself, I am convinced that life, yes, life is 10% what happens to me, but the 90% it is how I react to it. Someone says they don't hear me. Is it me or is it them? Can you confirm? Someone says they cannot hear me. Is it their network or it's my network? Is it my network or it's your network? Is it my network? Am I clear? Can you hear me, ladies and gentlemen? Okay, they say it's their network. Okay, I'm loud and clear. Okay, all right. Thank you so much. So I was saying, life, it is 10% what happens to me. The rest 90%, it is how I'm going to react to it. So you are in charge of your attitude today. Do not allow others to mess up your day because of how you're going to react to what they're going to do to you, yes, or to how they're going to behave. You're not going to choose how people are going to behave today, even in this Zoom. So I'm saying the only remarkable thing that we have each and every day when we wake up in the morning is choosing the positive attitude. That is the only thing that we are in control of, because we're not going to choose how people are going to behave in a certain way. So life is 10% what happens to me, 90% how I react to what has happened to me. So I don't know if you're getting this. I don't know if you're getting this. If you're getting me, write in the chat that I am in control of my attitude. Yes, write in the chat and say, I am in control of my attitude. Life is 10% what happens to me. The 90 is how I react to the 10%. So if I'm going to allow someone to mess up my day, it is because of how I'm going to react to them. Yes. If I allow someone to mess up my day, it is because of how I'm going to react to them. Yes. So you cannot control how people are going to react to you today. But what you can control is choosing the attitude towards what has been happening. Yes. So I want you to be confident when you are attending this training. I want you to be confident. If you are just listening to me, you are driving, going somewhere, I want you to be confident that life is 10% what happens to you. The 90 is how you react to the 10. So be in charge of your day. Be in charge of your attitude and be in control of your life. So let's get started. Let's get into our training this morning. Okay, so as crypto ambassadors, we do have different types of strategies. Yes, those that have just joined us, welcome, guys. Welcome. We are having a training today on a Wednesday. So today we are doing the Byebye poverty strategy as well as the super Byebye poverty. I like to do all of them at once, okay? Because there is somewhere that they connect. Yeah, somewhere they connect. The Byebye poverty and the super Byebye poverty, there is somewhere where they connect. So I like to kill two birds with one stone this morning. Yes. So I want to check, are you ready? Is your pen and paper ready? Is your brain okay? Is your brain in order? Yes. Is your brain in order? Is your attitude okay? If you are ready, please tell me that you are ready. Type in the chat, I am ready. Type in the chat that I am ready. I am ready. I am ready. We want to look at the Byebye poverty strategy and the super Byebye poverty strategy. Yes, yes, yes. Basil is ready. Basil is ready. Okay, wisdom is ready. Wisdom is ready. Okay, Emeda also is ready. What about Mugabe Moses is also ready? Okay, who else is ready this morning as we are entering into our training? Billionaire ambassador is also ready. Joseph, yes, Joseph is ready. Okay, all right. So let's jump into our training. Let's jump into our training. Yeah, it's 25 minutes past 9. Yes, 25 minutes past 9. I'm sure it's 26 minutes now, which is past 10 in East African time. Yes, so I'm going to share my screen. Allow me to share my screen and we get into our training this morning. Okay, so let me share my screen and we get into it. All right. So I'm sharing my screen. Is my screen visible? If you are able to see my screen on your side, please give me a 1 in the chat. If you can see my screen, kindly give me a 1 in the chat. We are doing the Byebye poverty and the super Byebye poverty. And also we are emphasizing on compounding. Don't forget that. We are emphasizing on compounding. Remember, we are collecting 3%. 300 successful trades is our target. Our target is 300 successful trades, okay? So in each and every trade, yes, at least we should be able to collect 3%. If it happens that the market pumps for that coin, then we can get more. But our target is 3%. That's what we are compounding, all right? So let's go to our amazing Royal Q robot, and then we do some screen sharing there so that we are able to look into a super Byebye poverty strategy setting as well as a Byebye poverty strategy setting. All right. So when you come to your screen, when you come to your Royal Q application, you are going to land on the home page first, okay, where you are able to see some currencies displaying. That is the home page. Like what you are seeing right now on your screen, it is the home page, okay? It is the home page of Royal Q, right? So I want us to look at this area called the mine section. There is mine here. Can you see the mine feature here? Yes, there is the mine feature right there. That's the mine feature, okay? So that is the area where you are able to log out from your system. But before you log out, there is a feature under the mine feature itself. When you tap on it, when you tap on the mine feature, this is what you are going to find, okay? So you normally log out using the system setting, all right? So we are not logging out, but what we want to do is we want to make use of this feature right here, okay? We want to make use of this feature right here, all right? So when you tap on this feature, you are going to see that Royal Q gave us or presented us with this feature so that we can set different strategies and keep them here. Yes, we can have different strategies and keep them here. Lucky enough, Crypto Ambassadors is one of the best teams that is good at creating different strategies that are making its community to succeed trading using the Royal Q application. All right. So here we are under my strategy setting. Under my strategy setting. Okay. So if you have followed me up to here, if you have followed me up to here from the mine section, and then we have landed here under my strategy setting. If you have followed me here, please give me a 1 in the chat. If you have followed me up to here, give me a 1 in the chat, because I don't want you to get lost. The reason why we are coming here, we want to serve a strategy. Whenever a signal has been given, you don't need to start from scratch. No, you just need to open the coin. Then after that, you're going to come and pick your desired strategy according to the capital that you have allocated per strategy. Okay, Basil said I should go back to mine. Okay, Basil, I'm going back to mine because of you. I'm going back to mine because of you. So we are going back to mine section. Okay, so this is the mine section here. First, let's come to the home. This is the home page, right? This is the home page. So this one is the mine feature, okay? This one is the mine feature, okay? That's where your profile is. That's where your profile is. So when you tap on the mine feature, you are going to find this page now. All right, this page. But what we are looking for here, it is this aspect that is called my strategy setting. What did I do? Okay, I have pressed a wrong button. Okay, I was looking for this. The area that we are looking for, it is this one, my strategy setting. Okay, yes, it is under the mine section. So when you tap on my strategy setting, Basil, are you following? It's when you are going to land on this page. When you tap on my strategy setting, you land on this page. Now, let me delete the strategy that is appearing so that we are starting from scratch. I am removing this strategy so that we do have an empty page. How does it look like? Okay, how does it look like when you don't have a strategy at all? So Basil, this is how it looks like when you don't have any strategy on this part. All right, so this page, you can create up to 10 strategies and you save them here. You can create up to 10 strategies, you save them here. So when a signal has been given, remember, trading is connected to time. They tell you, enter this coin in 5 minutes. If you see it after 5 minutes, don't enter. That tells you that time in trading is very important. So when you are setting up a coin or a trade, you also need to keep time. You need to maintain time. So RoyalQ has given us that aspect that we can control how long it should take us to set a signal. Are you following? So we are here on this page where we want to create our own strategy and we want to save it. Now, this is how the page looks like. If you are having already a strategy, you are going to tap on the plus sign here. There is the plus button right there. Okay, there is the plus button right there. Okay, you're gonna tap on it, then you're going to add the next strategy that you want to add. But if you are having nothing, then it's gonna be like this. Then you tap on the add it now. You tap on add it now. So when you tap add it now, this page is going to display. This page is going to display. Yes, this page is going to display. What page is this? If you remember, what do you do on this page? If you remember, I'm talking to those that are able to set up a trade. What page is this one? What do you do on this page? What do you do on this page? I just want to check. What do you do on this page? What do you do on this page? Give me an answer in the chat, please. What do you do on this page? 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 Yes, this is a trade setting page. This is where we do our trade settings. Okay? Yes, this is where we do our trade settings. Okay, so when you are on this page, I don't want you to focus because remember we are saving up a strategy here. Okay, please remove your eyes from this part. Take your eyes, make sure your eyes does not see that area. What do I mean? Don't concentrate on the risk type. It's not important now. Okay, don't concentrate on the risk type because we are not going to use the settings that RoyalQ is coming with on this setting. We want to create our own. So this side is not important. Probably the first area to put concentration is on the remark. Okay, what do you put on the remark? On the remark, you name your strategy. You name your strategy. For example, if you are setting a $300 setting, you can name $300 setting depending on the capital that you want to use. But right now, we are doing what we call the Byebye poverty strategy. Okay, the Byebye poverty strategy. So we can type Byebye right there. Yes, Byebye poverty strategy. Okay, that is under remark. You are giving a name to your strategy. So we are calling it Byebye poverty strategy. If you want to call it according to the capital, you can name it the amount of capital you are trading with. For example, $100 strategy, $500 strategy, $300 strategy. Yes. So that is under the remark. Now, when it comes to the first buy-in amount here, okay, under the first buy-in amount, we are not going to put anything for now because we are going to do what we call capital allocation, wallet management. How are we going to manage our wallet? Okay, so right now we're not gonna do the first buy-in amount. So we are going to leave the $15 right there. Okay, now when it comes to the Byebye poverty strategy, we normally trade with 5 margin calls here. We normally trade with 5 margin calls. So we are going to edit the 7, we put 5. Okay, we edit the 7, we put 5. All right, now let's come to the take profit, which is called the whole position take profit ratio. Yes, allow me just to put in the numbers. Allow me to put in what is needed. Yes, I want you to give your concentration there. How do you set a trade? Okay, the definition of what is whole position take profit ratio, what is whole position take profit callback, what is margin configuration. Okay, if I happen to have time, I'm going to explain all these. But the reason why I'm looking at this, because we do have already recordings about this. Okay, so let's focus on what should you put, especially to those that are new. How should they set up a trade? That should be our focus. Okay, so what do you put under position take profit ratio, which is our take profit? What do you put here? Here you are going to put, remember, we are compounding 3% 300 strategy. So our whole position take profit ratio, it should be 3.01. Okay, yes, it should be 3.01. And our whole position take profit callback, this one over here, we normally put in 0. Yes, I'm talking about this one here, the second one, the whole position take profit callback. Okay, so we put here, what do we put here? If you remember, what do we put here? What do we put there? What do we put there? Here also we put the same, the buy-in callback. Okay, we also put the same figure there, or the same percentage. All right, so here also it goes the same way. It goes the same way. And on the strategy mode, on the strategy period, sorry, not mode, but strategy period, I'm talking of this feature here. If you check here, there is the word cycle. There's a word cycle. So you are going to change, because we are not trading in a cycle period, but we are trading in a one shot period. So when you tap on that cycle, it's going to change it to one shot. It's going to change to one shot. So this is the first assignment that you need to do before you go to margin configuration. Before you go to margin configuration, your first page, when it is completed, it should look like this. It should look like this. Yes. If you're just joining us, please just get seated. I have spoken that on the buy-in amount, we're not going to talk about it now. We are going to talk it when we are doing our capital allocation. I'm going to do it under margin configuration. So I have left the first buy-in amount first. Okay, that's why you are still seeing in USDT right there. So we're going to do our first buy-in amount when we do margin configuration. So far, if you have followed me up to here, can I have a 5 in the chat? If you have followed me up to here, give me a 5 in the chat. If you have understood what to put in here, okay? What you should put on this first page when it comes to the Byebye poverty strategy. Give me a 5 in the chat. Give me a 5 in the chat. Give me a 5 in the chat. Who is following? Who is following? Who is following? Who is following? Only a few people are following. Only a few people are following. Okay, all right. So let me go with those that are following. All right, now this is the first page. Now, I have left one area that we're going to go and then set it now. Okay, and the area, this one, called the margin configuration, this one here. Okay, we are going to tap here so that we give power to the robot. We give power to the robot. Age, I did not calculate the first buy-in amount. We are not yet there. We are not yet there. Please, can you be calm? Yes. Age, we are not going to leave you behind. If you have joined late, we're not going to leave you behind. So don't worry about the first buy-in amount. We are not there yet. We are not there yet. So follow us step by step. Okay, thank you so much. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, we are now on the margin configuration. We want to figure out how do we want the robot to buy our 5 times here, which is called the margin call limit. Okay, we want the robot to buy 5 times. Okay, whenever it goes to the market, if it happens that the price goes down, it drops. When the price falls, how many times should the robot buy? We are saying 5 times. Now the question is, how should it buy the 5 times? So the question how is answered under margin configuration. That's how we want to say it, how the robot should buy these 5 margin calls. All right? Yes. So let's open under margin configuration and see what is under margin configuration. Okay. What is under margin configuration? So when it comes to margin configuration, it is divided into 2 parts. It is divided into 2 parts. I am not taking questions now. Please don't go ahead of me. Can you just follow? Can you just follow? If you are going to concentrate on what I am teaching, it's gonna do you good. Yes. Just follow what is the super Byebye poverty stream. How do you set it up? Then I'm going to explain. I'm gonna explain the drops that are given in other signals. But my focus now, it is the super Byebye poverty and the Byebye poverty. Those two, I'm gonna talk about them. Okay? Yes, so concentrate. Now, when it comes to margin configuration, it is divided into 2. It has got 2 areas of consideration. The first area, it is the margin call drop. The first area, it is the margin call drop. Okay? Yes. That is the first area where when a signal is given, sometimes they will tell you 5% drop. Sometimes they will 4% drop. Sometimes they will tell you 7% drop. Sometimes they will tell you 15% drop. So it is under the margin call drop. Okay? So how do you set the margin call drop when you are doing the Byebye poverty or the super Byebye poverty? The settings of the margin call drop is the same. Did you get me? The set of Byebye poverty and the super Byebye poverty, when it comes to margin call drop, it is the same. So what I'm going to show you, you can apply both in Byebye poverty or super Byebye. It is the same. The only thing is gonna be this side probably. Yes. But let's focus on one side first. Let's margin call drop. So how does the Byebye poverty and the super Byebye poverty carries its margin call drop? Let's go into it. The first call here, we put 0.2. Okay? 0.2 percentage that you need to put on the first call. On the second call, you need to put 0.3. 0.3, it is the percentage that you need to put on the second call, which is your second margin call. Now, on the third, you are going to change a little bit and put 0.5, which is the third. When the robot is buying margin call number 3, okay, it will be looking at 0.5 as a margin call drop. And on the fourth one, we use 1%, as well as the fifth call. We use 1% as well. Okay? Fourth and fifth, we use 1% as a drop. So what does this mean? What does this mean? Okay? When we click start, when we click activate for the robot to enter the market, the robot is going to buy first time with our first buy-in amount. We have not calculated our first buy-in amount, but I want you to have this at the back of your mind. When you click activate, the robot will enter the market first time with what we call first buy-in amount. So when the robot is entering first time in the market, it is not buying a margin call. No. Did you get me? When you click activate so that the robot can buy, when it is entering the market for the first time, it is not buying a margin call. It has not started buying your margin calls. No. It is entering the market for the very first time with your first buy-in amount. So when it enters the market, let's say our buy-in amount is $15 as an example. It has entered the market with $15 first buy-in amount. After it has entered here, let me demonstrate that this is point A, that our robot is entering with our first buy-in amount $15. From point of entry, which is A, the market can either go to the top or it can go down from point of entry. Okay? So when the market goes to the top, let's call this B. Let's call the top part B and the down part C. So the point of entry is A. When the robot enters here at A, there are two things that might happen. Okay? That might happen. The first thing is that the price can go up. The price can go up to B. So what is our take profit? 3% is our take profit. So after it has entered with $15 as first buy-in amount, the price happens to go up immediately after it has entered. What is going to happen? Nobody is going to sell the stock that it has bought with $15, our first buy-in amount. Sell and give us 3% our take profit from entry. The market can immediately go up, and then our 3% take profit has been reached, and the robot sells. That is the first thing might happen. I'm saying might happen. The robot enters the market for the very first time. If you have understood this, give me a 4. If you have understood this, give me a 4. Give me a 4 if you have understood this. When it enters the market, this is what normally happens. It will enter here. After entering, it's either the market will go up or the market will go down. So I was explaining what happens if the market goes up immediately after it has entered. What happens? The robot will be focusing, collecting our 3% of the first buy-in amount. Remember, it has only buy once with our first buy-in amount. Okay? Because someone will say, but my robot only bought once. What happened? Nothing wrong. It is because of the market once. Yes, the coin that your robot is trading, it is because of how it is performing. So your robot can enter here and market goes up, the robot sells. Now, if it happens that the robot has entered here, the market does not go up, it drops. It goes down. When it goes down, it's when the robot will start to buy first margin call. Yes, it will start buying our margin calls now. So from point of entry with our $15, if the market by 0.2 here, this is margin call drop. From point, the price drops by 0.2. Our robot is going to buy our first margin call. Okay? That's what normally happens. Then from here, where it has bought the first margin call, it drops again to this. And this drop is equivalent to this 0.3, which is the second margin call. What is going to buy the second margin call? From where it has bought the first margin call, drops by 0.3. The robot will be able to buy second margin call. The same applies for third margin call, fourth margin call, and fifth margin call. That is price going down. So this is what we say the market has gone against us. That's why we spend margin calls. When we trade with margin calls, we understand that the market can go down. From our point of entry, the market goes down. So when it is going down, what should we do? Let us buy more of the asset. That's why we are opening margin calls. Now, tell me, is it important? Is it important from the point of entry? Is it important to open margin calls or to trade with margin calls? Is it important? Is it important? Give me an answer in the chat. From what I am explaining to you, is it important to trade with margin calls? Is it important? Is it important? Is it important to trade with margin calls, or should we gamble with the market? Is it important to trade with margin calls? Thank you so much. Yes. it is very important to trade with margin calls. All right. I'm sure you have understood that. You have understood that. Okay. So this is margin call drop. Now, let me do 2 birds with 1 stone while I am still on the margin call drop. While I'm still on the margin call drop, I want to answer questions that says, what if they give me 5% drop in a signal? What if they give me 7% drop in a signal? What if they give me 15% drop in a signal? How do I allocate 15%? How do I allocate 7%? How do I allocate 5% with my 5 margin calls? Remember, I'm trading with 5 margin calls. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So how do I allocate percent? I'm answering this question now before we go to capital. So this is what you need to do. For you to get a percentage per drop from the total, because this is when they give you 15, it is a total margin call drop. If they give you 7, it is a total call drop. If they give you 5, it is a total margin call drop. Now, how do you allocate the 15 to the 5? How do you allocate the 7 to the 5? How do you allocate the 5 to the 5? So simple. You need to take, okay, what did I do now? Let me cancel here. Let me come back. Okay, let me come back here. All right. So how do you allocate the total drop? Then you are going to take, you're going to take given. If they have given you 15, you are going to take the 15%, which is a total margin call drop. You divide by, you are going to divide by the total margin call drop. You divide by number of calls. Margin calls. So how many margin calls do we have here? Give me an answer. How many margin calls do we have here? How many margin calls do we have? How many margin calls do we have? How many? How many margin calls? We are having 5. So if you divide 15, divide by 5, which is our number of margin call limit, what is the answer per drop? What is the answer per drop? What is the answer per drop? We are using 15 now. We are using 15. I want to answer the question that was popping up in the chat. Okay, so it means allocate 3% here, 3% here, 3% here, 3%, 3% there. Now you are done 10% drop. The same applies if they give you 7. You do the same way. They give you 5. You do the same way. They give you 4. You do the same way. As simple as that. Is that okay? Is that simple? If it is simple, give me a yes. This is margin call drop calculation. How do you allocate the total margin call drop given in a particular trade? How do you allocate it? So it is margin call percentage divided by number of margin calls. Total number of margin calls should enter into a margin call drop percentage given. Then you get how much should you layer. This is a layer, layer number 1, layer number 2, layer number 3, layer number 4, layer number 5. Yes. Okay. So if there are questions, some of them I'm going to answer them while I am explaining, but I would request that you remain patient. You remain patient with me until to the end. You can ask your question. I'm saying if they give you 7%, you divide 7 by 5. Okay? If they give you 7% drop, 7% you divide by number of 5. It is the same methodology. There is no difference. If they give you 3% drop, you do the same. They give you 5, you do the same. You take your 5, which is margin call drop, you divide number of margin calls, which is 5. Is that okay? Is that okay? Tell me if it is okay, tell me it's okay. If it is not okay, write in the chat, I am not okay. If you are not okay, write in the chat, I am not okay. Write, but if you are okay, please write, I am okay. It's okay. Now, can we go to capital allocation? Can we go to capital allocation? I want us to do multiple buy-in ratio. I want us multiple buy-in ratio. How can you put a 3% drop? You put it here. Or someone want to see because I was writing. Okay, let's put the 3%. Someone is thinking that this thing you cannot edit. You can edit, guys. Come on, guys. Come on. You can edit these numbers. Someone was saying I was writing on the screen. I'm supposed to put it in. Okay. I'm putting it in for you so that you are able to see. Okay. That is the 15% drop. I'm answering the 15% margin call drop. This is what I'm answering. So what you are seeing here, it is the 15% margin call drop. That's how you are going to put it. But the and the super buy poverty, we put here 1, here we put 1, here we put 0.5, okay, 0.5, here we put 0.3, what did I do? Okay, and here we put 0.2. This is the super buy poverty or the buy poverty margin call drop. So when you add this, and this, you discover that it is a total of 3% drop. This is a total percent drop. Are you following? This is the super or buy poverty strategy. This is how you set it up. That should be your focus. But the reason why I was saying, how do you allocate a certain percentage which is given as a total margin call drop? How do you go about it? That's why we took 15 as an example. Then we divided by 5 margin call limit number. Then we were getting 3% here, 3% here, 3% here, 3% here, 3% there. Now you have allocated this. You are done. I hope I am making things clear and simple. Let's do multiple buy-in ratio. Now, let's come to the capital now. This is where people get confused. Yes. So let's do the capital allocation. So the super buy poverty and the buy poverty, we focus on a capital. Yes, we focus on a capital from 1,000. That is our focus. So someone already is asking a question. What about me who is having $50? Having $100? What about me who is having $200? What are you going to do with me? There are already other strategies. We do have the bull run strategy. Yes, guys. One of our leaders is teaching the bull run strategy. Okay? So if you are not within this, please, you are within the bull run. If you are not within this, you are within the bull run. Okay, so everyone in Crypto Ambassadors is catered for. Okay, yes. So let's focus on $1,000 capital. Why are we looking at 1,000? The reason why we are looking at 1,000, we want to make a significant amount of profit when the trade is completed. Because if you go to your calculator and say, what is 3%? Remember, we are collecting 3% as take profit. So when you calculate what is 3% of $1,000, okay, you are going to that it is a very good amount of profit. So if you can pick 3 trades, or if you trades using $1,000 as capital, you collect 3%. You are standing a chance of making $100 per day. You are standing a chance of making $100 per day. Is this good profit? Tell me. Is this good profit? If every day you can make $1,000 and above, is it good profit? Is it good profit? Tell me. Is it good profit? Is it good profit to go home every day with $100? Is it good profit? So that's what we are targeting. We are targeting that once this trade is completed by the robot, you are going home with a very good amount of capital. Instead of using $100 here, another $100 here, another $100 here. So you are having 5 trades that are running. All of them 100, 100, 100. We are saying, what about we put this capital together and pick one trade and then get good amount of capital once the trade is completed? So this is another strategy that we are looking at to those that are having good capital. Because someone, this $1,000, it is the only amount of capital that they are having. Yes. It is the only amount of money that they are having. Okay. Yeah, $100 staying at home is very amazing. Okay, so let's get into it now. How do we manage this $1,000 and put it in a trade? Okay, now let's talk about our first buy-in amount. From the capital of $1,000, what could be our first buy-in amount? So we are doing buy poverty strategy first. Then we're gonna do super buy. This one is buy. I said that the buy poverty and the super buy poverty, when it comes to margin call drop, their setting is the same. Okay? Buy and super buy, their setting when it comes to margin call drop is the same. The difference is here. How do we allocate the capital? Okay, that's why I said we are going to kill 2 birds with 1 stone. Now, let's use $1,000 in a buy poverty strategy. In a buy poverty strategy, this is our approach on how to get the first buy-in amount. I'm sure AG is here now. AG, if you are listening, please indicate in the chat. Yes, you were asking me that time now. We are doing capital allocation. How do we get our first buy-in amount? Using $1,000 as capital in a buy poverty strategy. So we take our capital, we divide by 15%. We take our capital, we divide by 15%. Why are we dividing by 15%? We want to get our first buy-in amount using $1,000 as capital. Is that okay? Is that okay? How do we get our first buy-in amount in a buy poverty? Using $1,000. How do we get our first buy-in amount? How do we get our first buy-in amount? How do we get our first buy-in amount in a buy poverty? In a buy poverty. We are using 15%. We want to expose. We want to expose. Remember, $1,000 is our capital that we want to use. But out of this $1,000, we want to expose 15% only to be our first buy-in amount. Are we together? Are we together, guys? Why are we dividing 1,000 by 15%? We want to get our first buy-in amount. We don't want to expose all our money to be first buy-in amount. So 15% is going to be our first buy-in amount. Now, if you did get me when I was explaining this, do you remember? When I was explaining this, do you remember? When I was explaining this, that our robot will enter here at point A. So our first buy-in amount is 150 because 15% of $1,000, it is 150. So if it happens that the robot enters here with 150 and then the market goes up, then it sells the stock that it has used, it has bought with 150. Then it gives us 3% of $150. So in this case, we have only exposed 150 out of our 1,000. That's what we are saying. That's what we are saying. Someone is not getting the audio. Is that correct? Is my audio not audible? Guys, is my audio not audible? Someone says they cannot hear, they cannot get my audio. Is that true? Is that true, guys? Okay. So are you getting the idea of exposing 15% of our capital? Yes. Are you getting the idea? How do we get the 150? Okay. Do you take 1,000? Okay, let's do this for learning purposes, right? Let us be patient with others. Let us be patient with others. Others, they are still babies. Okay, let's go to our calculator. Where is my calculator here? Do I have a calculator? Okay, let's go and use a calculator. Here is my calculator. Someone is saying, how do we get the 150? So our capital is 1,000. This is our capital. Okay? So we are dividing it. When we divide on the calculator, we don't use the division symbol. We don't use the division symbol. Listen to me. When we are dividing on the calculator, we don't use this. We use this, then we add percentage. Okay? When we are dividing. Now, let's take our capital. Our capital is 1,000. Then we are going to divide it by 15. We're going to divide it by 15. We're going to put 15%. So that's where our $150 is coming from. Someone was asking, how do we arrive at 150? So 150, it is 15% of $1,000. Is that okay? Let's go back. Let's go back. I think I have answered that question very well. So we have gotten our first buy-in amount, which is 150. 150 is our first buy-in amount out of $1,000. How much is left? How much is left? If 150 is the first buy-in amount, how much is left from our 1,000? How much is left? We are moving step by step. I want everyone to be clear. I want everyone to be clear. How much money is left which is not used? How much? 850. 850. Okay? So this 850 which is left, I said that our robot enters here at point A. The market might go up to point A, or the market might come down to point C. Now, the 850 which is remaining, if it happens that our robot buys with 150, then the market started to drop to point C. The robot is going to use this $850 to buy margin call number 1, margin call number 2, margin call number 3, margin call number 4, margin call number 5. Are we together? Are we together? Give me a yes if we are together. Give me a yes if we are together. Okay. So this is our remaining balance in the wallet. Okay. After it has used 150. Now, we need to get another first buy-in amount for this capital. For the 5 margin calls, the robot is not going to use 150. We need to change it. Remember, we are exposing 15% as our first buy-in amount. Now we want to get, what do we want to get? Our new first buy-in amount for this capital now. For this capital. Here, we are anticipating that if the robot enters at point A, the market goes to A, then the robot is going to sell 150 amount of stock and give us 3%. But if it happens that after it has bought with 150, the market continues to go down, what is going to happen? The robot should buy our margin calls that we have opened. So when it is buying our margin calls, is it going to use 150? No. We need to get our first new buy-in amount. Okay? We are going to get that. So how do we come to here now? So we are going to take our 150. What is the 150? Tell me. I want to see if you're following. What is the 150? What is the 150? What is the 150? What is the 150 that we are writing here? Our first buy-in amount. Thank you. Our first buy-in amount. Okay? This is the 150, our first buy-in amount. Now, for us to get our new, I'm using the word new because this one is the first. We want to get a new first buy-in amount for the $850. So we are going to take this 150, we divide by number of margin calls. Number of margin calls. How many margin calls are we trading with? 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 5. So we are taking 150, we are dividing it by 5. We are dividing it by 5 so that we can get our new first buy-in amount for the 5 margin calls. If the robot happens to buy them, it should not use 150, but it should use new first buy-in amount. So 150 divided by 5. What do you get? 150 divided by 5. What do you get? 150 divided by 5. What do you get? $30. $30 is our new first buy-in amount. When the robot is going to buy margin call number 1, margin call number 2, margin call number 3, margin call number 4, up to 5, it will be using $30 as first buy-in amount. Are we together? Are we together, guys? Give me yes if we are together. Give me yes if we are together. Now, let's come to this step. Multiple buy-in ratio. Here, multiple buy-in ratio. When it comes to Byebye poverty or super Byebye poverty. Okay? Byebye poverty or super Byebye poverty. The numbers of times here that we put are the same. The number that we put are the same. So we put here 5. I want you to pay close attention. I want you to give me close attention here. We are still allocating the $1,000. Okay? So multiple buy-in ratio, we put 5, 5, 5, 5. 5, 5, 5, 5. Okay. So I was saying, the robot is going to use $30 to buy our margin calls. It's gonna use $30 here, $30 here, $30 here, $30 here, $30 here. But now here, it will be multiplying. It will be buying 5 times 30. This number here is times. Whatever our first buying amount is going to be, is going to be multiplied by 5 times. So in this case, our first buying amount is 30. Here also, it is 30. It means 5 times 30. 5 times 30. 5 times 30. 5 times 30. Give me an answer. Give me an answer. How much capital is needed for the robot to spend it on the first call? How much capital is needed for the robot to spend it to buy margin call number 1? How much capital? How much capital? How much capital? It is 150. It is 150. All right? So it is going to use 150 here, 150 here, 150 here, 150 here, 150 here. So I want you to add 150 times 5. How much are we getting? Okay, Tapelo has already given me an answer. So the robot is going to use $750 to buy margin call number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5. Now, if you add $750 plus our 15% first buy-in amount, 15% first buy-in amount, you discover that we are having $900 has been exposed to the market. $900 has been exposed to the market. How much is the balance from 1,000? How much is our remaining balance not used? Thank you so much, Anne. Yes. So the $100 which is left, they are signals that are called current price signals. They tell you collect 2.5%, collect 1.5%, collect 2%. Those signals that tells you enter within 5 minutes. If you are late, if you see this signal after 5 minutes, don't enter. So you can use this balance to trade those current price signals. Are we together? Before I come to this other part, why are we still using 150 per layer? Why can't we just use 150 as our first buying amount, and here we allocate one time, because the first buying amount is 150. What is the difference? Someone is already asking maybe that question. Why are we allowing the robot to use $30 instead of 150, but here it should buy one time instead of 5? Why are we doing this? The reason is that our robot is a martingale robot. Yes, it uses what we call DCA, dollar cost averaging method. So whenever it is buying, when we allow it to buy in multiples, remember we do have what we call average price and current price. So for our average price to come closer to the current price, we need to allow our robot to buy. So when it is buying, it pulls the average price closer to the current price when it is buying in multiples instead of one time. When it buys the stock 5 times, then the average price is moved at least closer to the current price. It is buying more stock at a cheaper price, but with the same amount of money. At each level, the amount of multiple buy-in ratio is different. So I'm answering this question now. Why are we not using 150 instead of 30? Is that okay? Is that okay, ladies and gentlemen? Is that okay? Give me an answer in the chat so that we can complete now. I want us to complete. Is that okay? Somebody says, Age says not yet okay. Okay, let me repeat. Age, where are you getting lost so that I can answer straight? Yes. Age, I want to get to your level. Where are you getting lost? Can you specify? Where are you getting lost? Where do you want me to clarify? Yes. Where should I clarify for you? Where should I clarify for you? So we have done, while I'm waiting for Age to give me an answer. No, we did not use 930. We did not use 930. Our robot is buying first time with 150. Okay? Our robot is buying first time with 150. Now, after it has bought with 150, we come and change our first buying amount to 30. So when it starts to buying the margin calls, it is no longer going to use 150, it will use 30. So on the layers here, if you multiply 5 times 30, you're going to get that it is 150 per layer. 150 per layer. 150 per layer. So when you add 150, 150, 150, 150, 150, you are going to find it is 750. So 750 time plus our first buying amount of 150. It's when we are arriving at $900. Okay. So this is super Byebye poverty and Byebye poverty. Now let's do the super now when it comes to capital. Okay, you are getting it. Okay, thank you. Now, this what we are doing here, it is the Byebye poverty. Let's do quickly the super Byebye. So the super Byebye, the difference, it is the first buy-in amount. Okay? The difference between Byebye poverty and the super Byebye poverty. The super Byebye poverty, when it comes to the first buy-in amount, we go in with 50% of our capital. Remember, the Byebye poverty, we were allocating 15% of our capital. But the super Byebye poverty, we are entering with 50% of our capital. So if we are having $1,000 as capital, how much is 50% of 1,000? How much is 50% of 1,000? Tell me. How much is 50% of $1,000? Yes. So in super Byebye poverty, we use $500 as first buy-in amount. $500 as first buy-in amount. Now, after the robot has entered with $500, how much is left as our capital, which is not used? How much is left? How much is left? How much is left? How much is left? I want us to finish now. How much is left? $500. So the remaining 500 is the one that we are going to use for the robot to buy our 5 margin calls. The robot will use the remaining 500 as our margin calls capital. So let me do this again. Point A, this is B, and this is C. When the robot enters here with 500, if the market goes to the top, it gives us 3% of $500. The robot is going to sell the stock that it has bought using 500. That is if the market does not go down. If the market goes down, we are opening margin calls with the remaining 500 for the robot to consume it to buy our margin calls. Okay? So now let's allocate the remaining 500. Okay? So we are remaining with 500 here. All right? We are remaining with 500. So out of this 500, we are going to change. Remember, it has bought $500 as first buying amount. We change this 500, our first buying amount, and we do have a new first buy-in amount of $20. Because the setting here, it is the same. 5, 5, 5, 5. Now we are remaining with 500. For the robot to buy 5 times here, 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 it will need to use $20. So initially, we are saying 5 times 20, 5 times 20, 5 times 20, 5 times 20, 5 times 20. So this is $100 on the first call, $100 on the second call, $100 on the third call, $100 on the fourth call, and $100 on the fifth call. our 500 balance, it has been put in the market. So a total of 1,000 has been used in this particular trade of super. The super, it takes all the 1,000, but the Byebye, it only takes 900. Hello, hello, hello. I'm about to complete. I'm going to compounding now to complete the training. Hello, hello, hello. Are we still together? Are we still friends? Hello, am I talking to somebody here? Am I talking to someone here? Am I talking to somebody here? All right, all right. So the super Byebye poverty, when the robot enters first time with 500, we come and change our 500 to 20, which is our new first buy-in amount. While the Byebye poverty, when the robot buys first time with 150, we come and change our 150 to $30 so that the robot uses to buy our 5 margin calls. That is the difference between the two strategies. That is the difference between the two strategies. Now, let's save here. Let's save here. We are saving. We have done the setting. We are saving. We come here. We save it. We are not changing our first buying amount. We are going to change it when we are picking a trade. It's when we're going to change our first buy-in amount. Okay? Now, let's come back to the home page. I'm getting out of here. We are out of the mine section. Now we are on the home page. Let's come and pick a trade. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the last part now. How do we apply this strategy under the mine section here? How do we apply this one in a trade? So we come on the home page. Let's pick a coin together. Let's pick this coin here. This coin called SYN as a signal. Let's say that this is a signal. How do we fetch this and use it in our strategy? So we are going to come here, we open the coin, we tap I understand, then we tap create. When we tap create, just like what we do always, we tap on martingale, then we tap create. Then when we land here, we do what we always do. Now we are here on the coin. Now, we want to do settings now. Trade settings. We don't want to start from scratch from here. We don't want to start from scratch. What do? When we tap on trade setting, we remember we are creating manually. We are creating manually, not smart create, no. So we tap on manual create. When we tap on manual create, do you remember this page? Do you remember this page? Do you remember it? When we were doing our Byebye poverty strategy under my strategy setting, do you remember it? Yes. Okay. So when you land on this page, don't start putting anything here. Don't start putting here, setting here, setting here, setting here. No, you are wasting time. We have already done that. So what do you need to do? You come and tap here. Choose a strategy setting. You tap on that. When you tap on choose a strategy setting, it's going to take you to this place where you have kept your strategy. Did you follow? Is someone in the jungle? Is someone in the jungle lost? How did we arrive here? How did we arrive here? Or someone is in the jungle. Is someone in the jungle lost? Should we find you? If you are lost, please say yes, you are lost. I'm gonna come and look for you. I will find you. If you are lost, say yes, I'm gonna come and look for you. Okay. They are following. They are following. There's no one who is in the jungle. Okay. Rogers, are you lost? Rogers says yes, he's lost. Let me go and look for Rogers. Rogers, I'm coming to pick you up. Alex is in the jungle. Alex is in the jungle. I'm coming to pick you up, Alex and Rogers. I'm coming for you. I'm coming for you. I'm getting out of here. I'm getting out of here. I'm getting out of here. Let me pick a new coin. Let me pick a new coin. Alex, Rogers, I'm coming for you. Please follow me here. Yes, whoever is in the bush, please follow me here. So we tap on the coin that we are setting as a signal. We click I understand. Then you click create, just like what you do always when you are setting a coin. Okay? So I want you to pay close attention here. Here on trade setting. No, this coin seems like we did set it. I want to look for a coin that we did not set so that it takes us. This is what I'm looking for, okay? Just be patient with me. Let me pick a coin that I've never traded so that it does not have settings at all. It doesn't have any setting at all. Yes. Yeah, this one. Okay. So when you tap on strategy, on trade settings, those that are in the bush, please look here. I want to come fetch you there. Those who are in the bush, tap on trade settings. When you tap on trade settings, you are going to land on this page. On this page where it says smart create and manual create. Whenever you are trading a coin for the very first time, it always takes you here. But if you are picking it second time, it does not show you this page. I don't know if you did realize that. Every new coin that you have never traded, when you set it up, it will take you on this page. So here you are going to choose manual create. I'm tapping on manual create to land on this page now. I'm looking for this page. When you are on this page, I said that I want you to save time. You don't need to edit here, edit here, edit here, edit here. You are wasting time. You have already saved a strategy under mine section on my strategy setting. How do you go there? This is the road. This is the road. Hey, get out of the bush. Get out of the bush. If you are in the bush, get out of the bush. This is the road. This is the road. This is the road. Can you see the road to my strategy setting? Can you see the road to my strategy setting? I'm making things simpler here so that someone can remember. Yes, you can laugh, but I'm trying to take you out of the bush. Okay. Roger says he's out of the bush now. This is the road. Get out of the bush. Follow this road here. Follow this road. When you tap on this road called choose a strategy setting, then you are out of the bush. We have found you. Now the question is, how do you apply this now into the setting? You just tap on the strategy, just like this. Just tap on it. Can you see? I have just tapped on it once. Then it displays like this. So what do I need to do here? Just to edit my first buying amount. That's all. So if I'm using the Byebye poverty, I'm going to put 150 here. If I want to use Byebye poverty, I use 150 as my first buying amount. Immediately after the robot has bought with 150, then I come and edit the 150, I put 30. Are we together? I'm concluding. I'm concluding. If I want to use the super Byebye poverty, I'm going to make my first buy-in amount 500. The robot buys with 500. Immediately when it buys with 500, then I'm gonna come and edit 500 and put $20. That is super. Are we together? Now, let me conclude now. Let us use the 500 as the super by poverty. Now, let's save here. I am saving here. Okay? Now, before I click activate, so that the robot can buy with $500 as first buy-in amount, okay? There are things that I need to make sure that they are in order. The first thing is my AI margin call. My AI margin call, it should be on. Before I click activate and start the robot, I have to make sure that my AI margin call is on. Because if my AI margin call is not on, immediately when the robot buys with 500 and the market drops by 0.2, the robot is going to buy again before I change the 500 to 20. Do you understand? So for you to be safe, make sure that your AI margin call is on always. Now, let's come to the strategy mode here. The robot should be trading in which mode? For you to get out of the trade fast, we recommend that you choose the sub-bin mode. Remember, when you are trading, you want to get out of the trade. So which strategy is going to help you to do that? You choose the sub-bin mode. Then you click sure. Then you are good to go. You are good to go. Now, let me conclude. It did not pick because of network. Let me go there again. I put the... Okay, still network. My network is not good. All right? But I'm saying use the sub-bin mode. Okay? Use the sub-bin mode under the strategy mode. Okay? Use the sub-bin mode. Now, let's go and compound. When my robot, listen now, I'm concluding now on compounding. When my robot buys with $500, okay? It buys with $500, okay? I'm here now, I'm concluding. Let me do that thing again. I think this one helps me to explain better. My robot buys with 500 here. Position of entry, 500. Once the robot buys with 500, the market goes up to A. My take profit is 3%. Can you see my take profit here? So immediately when the robot enters here with 500, the market goes up to A. The robot is going to sell the stock of $500 and give me 3%. So let's say that it gives me 15%, I mean $15 as profit. I'm using this as an example. $15 after it has entered with 500, then the market goes up, it sells. Then when I am taking the next trade, I'm gonna take $15, I add it to 500. I make it $515. First buy-in amount. Are we together? I will take this profit, I add it to my first buy-in amount, 500. I make 515. The robot buys next time or next trade with 515. When it buys with 515, I come and edit this first buy. Then I put $30. No, $20. This one is 20. Okay? This one we use 20, but the buy poverty we use 30. So I edit 515 back to 20. Now, in the case, listen to me, in the case where the robot buys my 5 margin calls, it put in the whole amount of $1,000 now. This time after it entered here, the market went down. It buy my first margin call, my second margin call, third margin call, fourth margin call, up to 5 margin call. It buys all of them. Now it has put in 1,000 together. Now when it is selling, then it gives me, let's say it gives me $35 as profit. So when I'm setting the next trade, I'm gonna take 35, I add it to 500. I make it $535 first buying amount. Immediately when the robot picks this, I come and change again to $20. If you have understood this, give me a 1 in the chat. If you have understood this, give me a 1 in the chat. I'm gonna come and answer the questions. I just wanted to conclude here. I will come and answer those questions. I will come and answer those questions. The same applies whether you are using 150 as your first buying amount. The robot buys with 150, the market goes up, it sells 3% of 150. You are going to take the profit that it has given you in this particular trade where it only bought once. Then you take whether it's $5, $10, you add it to your 150 as your first buying amount. You continue with your journey of compounding in each and every trade. Now I have completed my training. Let me come back to the chat and then I can take those questions, then we call it a day. We call it a day. There are people who have been asking questions while I'm still training here. Now I need to go to those questions. I don't know where they are. I don't know where they are. So you ask your questions up there before I completed the training. Yes. So let me take the questions now. Let me take the questions. Can someone with $500 capital use this strategy? Yes, you can use it. Just follow the same methodology. The same methodology. Yes, you can use $500 to trade super Byebye or Byebye poverty. Okay, but you cannot use, if you're having 500, you cannot use super Byebye because super Byebye, it uses half of your capital, unless you say, I'm gonna use half of my 500 as first buying amount. If you are to expose 50% of your capital, it means you're gonna take 500 divided by half. It means 250 will be your first buying amount. The remaining 250, you open margin calls. Yeah, someone has written a long statement. How do we make $100 profit? We trade more signals. Okay, let me explain this. Let me come to the camera. Let me come to the camera, guys. You see, we are preparing you for the bull run. Because someone is only thinking about now. That's the problem. Guys, we are preparing you for the bull run. Take note of this. We are preparing you for the bull run. So in a bull run, you can pick 5 signals in a day and they deliver all of them. Mark my words and write the date for today and write who was teaching. Yes, you want to prove me wrong. Write the date for today and write who was teaching. Let the bull run come. Right now, you pick a signal, you stay for days. During the bull run, you can trade 5, 10 signals in a day and they deliver all of them. And let me tell you, in the bull run, people, they use $2,000 as first buy-in amount. They use $500 as first buy-in amount. Do you know the reason why? The market does not drop so much. It will buy once. The robot will enter with the first buy-in amount. It does not buy margin calls because it doesn't drop a lot. So we even change our settings in terms of margin call drop during the bull run. The market only retraces. It does not drop so much. So we enter heavy with first buying amount because we understand that it might not buy our margin calls. So you enter a trade now, in 5 minutes you are out. You enter another one, in 5 minutes you are out. That is the reason why in the bull run, we trade in a cycle because we don't have time to open, close, put trade settings, Yes. So in most cases, we trade in a cycle because of time. Are you getting me? So don't think of now. Someone, because is asking, what if I enter with my 1,000, then I get stuck? I'm saying we are preparing for the bull run. That's why we say, increase your capital at least to $1,000. You can make $100 and above in a day. Did you get that? Did you get that? This is true, guys. So when we say work on your capital, you will wish if you could go and sell your house so that you trade. Unfortunately, that time the buyer is not available because you're telling yourself, after the bull run, I'm going to buy another house. So I better sell this one so that I get capital. Are we together? Let me go back to the questions. I didn't say you should ask me when is the bull run coming. Okay. If you are having $200, please use the bull run strategy. Don't use the Byebye poverty. The Byebye poverty is not going to work for you if you are having less than $500. Yes. If you're having less than $500, Byebye poverty is not for you. Please use the bull run strategy. All right. I'm coming to the questions, guys. I'm trying to scroll so that I answer your questions. Okay. How many times is one supposed to type in first buying amount? 2 times. The first buying amount you type 2 times. You change it. The first time, when the robot buys the first time, okay, if you are using 150 as a first buying amount, when the robot buys with 150, you come and tap on trade settings. Then you change the 150 to $30. If you are using super Byebye, you are using $500 as first buy-in amount. Once the robot buys the first time with 500, you come and edit 500 back to 20. So you tap on the trade settings, then you change your first buy-in amount. Okay? No, don't change anything on the distributed take profit allocation, okay? On the distributed take profit allocation, don't change anything. Leave the 1.3 there. There is 1.3. If you check, you're going to find 1.3%. Don't change it. Leave it like that. We want the robot to buy margin call number 5. it gives you 1.3%, then it continues trading. That is if it is not completing the trade of the first 4 margin calls. So distributed and take profit allocation don't change anything. That's why I did not say anything there. Okay. There's a long statement here. Okay. You can just make a follow-up. Joseph, if you are still in the Zoom, the issue about prospects that joined your team and RoyalQ send you a message that a new user has just joined your team using your invitation code. You can just make a follow-up unless they are picking your code maybe on a social media page. Yes, there are people who displays their code on a social media advert, all right? If they are picking on a social media, then you've got no choice because you don't know the person. Unless they come to you and say, look, I am activating my robot, I picked your link and I have registered. But if they are just registering, they are not activating and you want to make a follow-up, you can follow up if they did do that using your WhatsApp. You had a conversation with them and they registered. Yes, I'm not sure what RoyalQ is planning to do towards that, especially to those that are joining the business through the social media link. Yes. Maybe you can write to RoyalQ on that one. You can write to RoyalQ and express your concern. RoyalQ, it always listen. How do you know that the robot has bought? Okay. When the robot buys, it sends you a message. Let me share my screen. It sends you a message on the bell icon. Let me do this. Someone want to see how do you know that the robot has bought? Let me share my screen here so that you are able to see. We are coming to the end, guys. I'm closing up. I'm ending this session now. Okay, let me come back here. Okay, so when I click activate, okay, when I click activate, the robot is going to buy. When it buys, there is a message that pops on this bell here. Can you see there is a bell here? The person who was asking, there's a message that pops on here to show that the robot has bought. Or either the other way that you can do is that you come and open on the bell. Okay, you come and open on the bell when it is like this. Yeah, when it is like this, you tap on the bell, you are going to see order messages here. You're gonna see order message here. Okay, so you are going to find out that the robot has bought. The robot has bought when you tap on order messages. When you tap on this bell here, it's going to show you that the robot has bought. All right. I hope I have answered that question. I think there was it a follow-up message? No, don't open the position doubled. Leave it like that. Don't open it. On the position doubled, don't touch anything there. The places where I did not explain anything, don't touch it. Just leave it like that. Just leave it like that. Okay? These strategies, we are focusing on 5 margin calls. If you are trading with more than 5 margin calls, then you need to do the settings for the remaining margin calls that you are adding. Okay? We are focusing on 5 margin calls. On 5 margin calls. Okay? So the bull run strategy, who's this? Is this GJ? GJ Tech, yes. The bull run strategy, the settings are the same. I mean, yes, the bull run strategy, the settings are the same when it comes to margin call drop. The difference is allocating your capital. Okay? Just go to Crypto Ambassadors YouTube channel because I don't want to take more time. I have been here for long now. Go to YouTube channel of Crypto Ambassadors. Look for a recording or a video that talks about bull run. Okay, a video that talks about the bull run. You're gonna find the settings there. How do you go about the settings of bull run? If you are trading with $100, you are trading with $50, you are trading with $150, it is there. Okay. So if you are trading with more than 7 to 10 margin calls, please set the settings for the extra calls you are adding. But our focus is on the 5 margin calls. That's where our focus is. All right. Yeah. Please, can we end it here? Did I do justice to the training? Can we end it here and meet again at evening? Leader Julius will be taking over at evening. Yes. Yes. Leader Julius will be taking over at evening. All right. So thank you so much, guys. This training is recorded. It is live. You can go to YouTube and watch it again. Okay. Yeah. At evening, it is the same time we do our presentation. Yes, that is 9 o'clock East African Standard Time, 9 p.m. Okay? Yeah, it is 8 p.m. South African Time. 8 p.m. South African Time. All right, so if you did not get it all, please come and play a recording on YouTube. It's being recorded. It is there. So thank you so much, guys. I wish you a wonderful day, a lovely trading experience. Yes, make sure that you are able to manage your capital. Patience, guys. Patience, guys. The best is yet to come. The best is yet to come. Don't leave the business. Don't give up. Okay, our floating losses are going to be floating profit. Our floating losses, they will be floating profit. Don't go. Don't leave the business. Believe you me, you're gonna regret. You will regret. So don't go. Stay with us here. Okay, the best is yet to come. So thank you so much, guys. Salute. Lovely day. We love you all, guys. Take care and be safe until we meet again. Bye-bye.